Hey guys, this is Darren, your youth ministry drill sergeant, and my New Year's resolution is that I'm going to embrace a little bit more of the Huggy Bear and a little bit less of the drill sergeant. I'm kind of a tough guy, but not really. It's really more of a tough guy kind of wannabe. So I decided I could give you straight talk and still be a good guy. So here's what I've decided to do. Today I'm introducing you to my youth pastor. The January-February column in Youth Ministry Drill Sergeant is all about loving those awkward junior high kids. And this guy right here, my youth pastor, Mitch Jackson, who has crossed over to the dark side and is now a senior pastor, really was a big instrumental part of God launching a rescue mission on my behalf as an awkward, squirrely, dorky junior high kid. So I wanted to give you guys a chance to meet Mitch and to talk to him a little bit about what it takes to love those squirrely junior high kids. And to say thank you for tuning in and for reading Group Magazine. So, Mitch, thank you for agreeing to be a part of this.
I'm glad to be with you.
And I appreciate, and I've told you this before, but I appreciate so much you investing in me when everybody else was kind of like, oh my gosh, get that kid out of here. So, in thinking back, I don't want you to think too hard because I really don't want any stories coming out, okay? But thinking back, I mean, I can look back and see that I was a total doofus. I mean, just a total squirrely junior high kid who, you know, the kids that I was grate me now. So I know I had to grate you. So my question is, how did you really come up with a way to kind of connect with me, even though I was such a dork?
Well, I think my wife and I both noticed when you first came, you were somebody new to the group. And one of my goals with our kids was always that when new kids would come in, that they'd be accepted and loved no matter what things were like, who they were, or how accepted they were in whatever group at school. And I just noticed you were having a lot of trouble fitting in right off the bat. And it seemed like it was like there was a lot of teasing. There was kids that just seemed like they weren't really trying to connect with you. And so Cindy and I talked about it and decided, hey, here's a young man that has a lot of potential that just needs somebody to love on him a little bit. And so we just made an effort to connect.
You did, and you did a good job too. Because I'm telling you, the kids at the time, and I hope you guys are watching this, they were ruthless, man. And I was definitely going down, you know. And I really felt like you and Cindy made an on-purpose effort to make me feel included and loved and valued, really. And I wasn't getting that anywhere else. I certainly wasn't getting it at home, and I wasn't getting it much with my friends. And so that was definitely a key, like a turning point for me. And so I'm wondering what kind of stuff did you do, or do you do kind of on purpose to connect with kids who aren't the jocks and the popular kids?
Well, I think the key with you and the key with any young person is just kind of getting their life a little bit and figure out what's going on and why they're like they are. And you see there was something different about you right off the bat, but yet knew that there had to be reasons for why you weren't connecting and why the other kids weren't connecting with you. And so I just purposely took the time to get to know you a little bit. And as I did, then I discovered that, yes, there were some things in your family and there were some things going on, and that in a lot of ways you were hurting, and we just tried to be there for you. I mean, I don't feel like we did anything that special. It was just a matter of caring and loving and being real with you, and you were real with us, and we connected.
Yeah, and that was great. And let me just tell you something. It is rare. And here's why, Mitch, I think it is. Because junior high kids are annoying. You know? I mean, I was annoying. I was just annoying. I know I was. And I think that it takes something special, and more than that, really something intentional, to see past that annoying thing and say, I don't care how annoying this kid is, God has something for them. We're in relationship with them, and we're gonna kind of wade through it with them. I don't know if you know that I know this or not, but one of the students who was in the youth ministry with us there told me that this was after I kind of got out of the squirrely stage, after you guys loved me into normal, or a little bit normal.
I'm not sure you made it quite to normal.
But he told me probably my sophomore, junior year in high school that one day when I was not at church, you kind of pulled those guys aside and gave them a little what for, and just said, listen, you're going to run this kid off, and he needs what we have to offer him here. He needs Jesus, and you are making it impossible for him to find that. And there was a distinct turning point. After he told me that, I could look back and see the turning point of the students in the youth ministry, where they kind of, I guess kind of got it, that maybe I was a project kid, but either way, they really needed to they needed to invest in me a little bit more than name calling and throwing rocks at me and stuff. So I think that's a pretty big deal for a youth pastor to kind of pull aside the core kids and say, listen, this kid needs somebody, and you need to be standing in the gap.
And you weren't the only one I did that with over those years. I just felt like that, at school you got all the different groups, and if you don't fit in, you don't fit in, and kids fall between the cracks. And at church, it ought to be a place where everybody's loved and accepted. And one of the things I felt in you right away is you were looking for somebody to care about you.
Yeah.
Something was missing, and you were just looking for somebody to care about you. So it was easy to get involved in your life because you were open to it. And as soon as you saw somebody was being real with you, you responded to that in a great way. And that's why we got so close over the years.
Yeah. And I, again, just want to say to you, Mitch, I mean, I've told you this 1,000 times, but my life would not be what it is without the investment that you and Cindy made in it. The life of my kids would not be what it is. Certainly, I would not be pursuing student ministry and having the opportunity to impact there the way I do. And so I just want to say to you, in front of God and all of these witnesses who read Group Magazine, thank you for being faithful and intentional and loving an unlovable kid. My life, it will never be the same because of God's influence in it through you. So thank you for that. I appreciate it, and I love you.
That's humbling, Darren, but you need to know that it goes both ways, that I hope we did have an impact on your life, but you had one on ours as well. And I wouldn't be the same pastor I am today without some of the things I learned from you. And so we love you and always will. And I almost feel like you're one of our kids, even though we very seldom see you anymore. But it goes both ways, and you had a lot of influence on us as well.
Well, I definitely feel like I'm one of your kids because I didn't know how to shave until you taught me how. So
I remember that day.
All right, Mitch.
I can tell some other stories about
No,
that
we're
time
done. You're breaking up. Mitch, I love you. Thank you for being part of this. And thank you for reading Group Magazine and investing in the Youth Ministry Drill Sergeant. Don't forget, those junior high kids need your influence and your intentional, purposeful care for them.